right, all you demonic RPG playing revenge seekers out there? Welcome back to the Indy Radio Arcade. And you know, folks, one thing I wish about the Bad Boy series is that they came out with a halfway decent game to match the movies. But unfortunately, they never did. Yeah, really wish they would take another swing at that. But speaking of games, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time for us to go into another edition of the Instant Classic Video Game Review. And the game we have up on the plate for this week, folks, would be the 7th Tales game I would be able to play in my history, known as Tales of Berseria. Not to mention a Tales game we've been waiting to play, beat, and talk about on this show for well over, 3 years now? Yeah, seriously, it's been a while. And with that said, folks, the meat and potatoes of this game is that you play as Velvet Crow, a person whose world would get turned upside down the night of the Scarlet Night, where her brother, Lafayette Crow, would be sacrificed for Lord Artorias' gain for him to become leader of the Exorcists and be worshipped as, well, might as well have been a god at that point after doing what he did for the greater good, so to speak. And with those meat and potatoes explained without revealing too much plot of the story, what did I love about this game? Well, for starters, the story of the game itself is absolutely wonderful in my opinion. And not to mention, for a couple of you Tales fans out there who play Tales of Berseria, this game is considered as a prequel before all the events that took place in Tales of Berseria several years later down the road. And before I reveal anything, one of the characters are related to another one from Berseria in this game. Yeah, just a small hint. And outside the story, folks, another thing that I loved about this game had to have been the combat system that they provided for this game, which gives you a chance to combine all the arts in different ways, shapes, or forms as combinational attacks, and even rewards you for breaking the defense or even making your opponents dizzy by giving you more of a chance to continue your combos on, which really helps out with Velvet during this game, and other characters that we don't reveal to actually spoil the game for a couple of you at home. And another thing that I loved about this game is that they finally decided to incorporate characters to have revival spells to be done during this game, which was always something I've been asking for the longest amount of time, but unfortunately, and we'll get to it in a second, only a certain amount of characters can learn that spell. And the last thing that I loved about this game, besides the countless adventures you can get into for side quests, and even a chance for you to send off ships to search for new items to help you out on your main quest for the game, has to be the fact that they once again included a zone cage for this game, and on top of all of that, the return of Cat's Island in this game as well. I don't know why I like it so much, but it's a really cool place to go. And with everything that I liked about this game, including the fact that you can do a new game plus for this game, what didn't I like about this game? Well, to go back to what we said earlier about the characters, certain characters being able to learn revival spells, that was one thing that I was not a fan of for this game. And on top of that, the fact that other characters in the game as well could not use health items or elixirs to try to help you out just in case their spells get, locked or anything like that. If their spells get locked out, unless you have an item on hand, they can't use items for themselves. So basically what I'm trying to say, folks, is that the computer characters cannot use regular items from your inventory for themselves like previous Tales games, which really did bum me out during the game itself. And another thing that we weren't really a fan of for this game is the fact that after a certain level, you stop learning abilities for this game as well. And I do believe it's somewhere around level 100, I do believe, or level 99, somewhere around that range. But after that, you just stop learning abilities for your characters, which I really do think you could have learned some more powerful abilities to help you out during your battles if you were willing to go that extra mile to make it to level 200. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, the level cap for this game is 200. Nice. And with everything that I liked and didn't like about this game, what do I think they could do to improve upon it? Well, for one, and a little bit of a spoiler alert, the souls that you get to make your way to Cat's Island, I hope in the near future for this game you can actually use that for a makeshift item store for New Game Plus to try to get yourself more grade or more items like they had during the demo version of Tales of Berseria that wasn't included in the main version of the game. Really wish they would have included that. And on top of that, a chance for characters to learn more abilities after they reach that next echelon of the triple-digit levels, so you can learn revival spells or even spells for other characters that can help you out in mid-combat. Or at least have a chance for set characters, or at least all characters that you're not using, have the ability to learn the spell Revive to help you out in mid-combat. And oh, one thing we forgot to mention that we liked about this game, you can actually tag team art moves during this game as well for a big special attack in the end. Almost forgot to mention that, and thank you for reminding me too, Maestro. And seeing the fact that we don't know how to review games along the lines of gold stars, coins, letters, or bricks, we review games in only two ways, folks. Will there be a video game story in the near future for this game? And do we recommend this game for you, the RPG demonic vengeance-seeking fan at home? And to answer the question for the video game story, folks, 2 words: this Friday. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, to wrap up the summer of RPG, we will be doing a video game story for Tales of Berseria, somewhat along the lines of how in the world I got well over 100 hit combo as I was making my way up the zone cage for this game with Velvet. And not to mention the return of a very special attack I've been requesting since Tales of the Abyss that actually helped me make my way up to the summit of that said tower that we're gonna go to. So yeah, it's gonna be a very exciting video game story with plenty of hits and lightning, if you know what I mean. And with that said, folks, do we recommend this game for you, the RPG vengeance-seeking fan at home? Well, if you want to play a game that sees Velvet turning into Kill Bill, coming up with a large list of people to take out on her way to get revenge for her brother, all the while making friends along the way, and learning a little bit more about herself while learning some new attacks to take people out with the quickness, then I'd recommend you go out there and cop that disc. And trust me, folks, you won't regret it, especially if you're a fan of the Tales series like I am. And with that said, folks, we might as well head back into the music once again, and when we return, we'll be back with another edition of the Indy Wall of Fame right after a word from our sponsors. So don't give up on that side quest just yet, folks, and stay tuned.